Hello, welcome to today's prenatal flow. So we'll start in comfortable seated position, which could be right here. Could be just sitting cross-legged. However, think about having your pelvis a little bit higher than your hips. I definitely recommend a block or two always, especially during prenatal. And now is a great time to sit on that if that helps bring you into that alignment a little bit more. So we'll start here by connecting with our breath, which is how so many practices start. But what does that mean? Listening to your breath, listen to the noise your breath makes as it comes in and out of your throat, in and out of your nose, as if you were listening for a breeze through trees or through marshes. And allow the focus of that breath to replace any other thoughts that you've had today, that you'll have later. You deserve always, and especially right now, this time alone with you and with baby. As we start to focus on our breathing, eyes closed, think about on each exhale, just wrapping baby up with those abdominal muscles, making a really cozy home for baby. So inhaling, you're sort of relaxing through the diaphragm, and as you exhale, you're just giving baby a big hug with all those muscles around your abs, your obliques, your transverse abdominals. That's a great time as well to think about engaging your pelvic floor. You have your hips, you have your pelvis. There are muscles that line that entire bone structure. That's your pelvic floor. And think about just lifting that up and bringing it together in alignment on your exhale. Shoulders are back, relaxed, down away from the ears. Your shoulder blades are kind of coming together around your spine. And we'll just take a few more breaths here. Let's just take, if you're sitting on a block, we'll take the block out, or a bolster or pillow, and we'll just start our practice here with our legs kind of, wide open, and we'll do some super gentle twists. You'll notice all the twists we're doing are in the upper, third of our spine, nothing that's going to be affecting baby's little home. We'll bring our right knee into a bent position here. Right elbow comes into right knee, and your left hand is either on your left knee, right beside it. And we're just gently pushing, ever so gently pushing the knee out as we twist towards the left. And you're feeling this kind of in the upper ribs, especially on the left side. As our ribs expand to make room for baby and for all the shifting that's going on inside, the tissue between those ribs is also stretching, and we want to make sure things stay in the right place. So we'll just do some breathing to expand the ribs and then a little bit to stretch through that upper back. We'll bring the right leg, right foot right into the inner thigh and Again, a super gentle kind of neutralizing twist here will be just right hand to right knee, and left hand stays on left knee, and we're just ever so gently turning towards the right. And as we're breathing, you can probably feel that a little bit on the left side. That's just sort of the opposite of the feeling we just had on the right side. Last one here. Just inhale the left arm up. Place that right on top of the right knee. Right hand comes back towards the back of your mat, and super gentle, just turning to look over your right shoulder. Taking a few breaths here. And then we'll come back, extending the right leg out again, and this time left knee comes up. So as a reminder, during pregnancy, you've got relaxin, this hormone that's opening everything up. Because of that, you can go a lot deeper into all of these postures than you could have before pregnancy. But now is not the time to attempt your splits. Now is the time to just get to a place where you feel the stretch and you stay right there. And we'll bring the left foot into the inner thigh, and we'll just twist a little bit here. Neutralizing that twist that we just made. Last one, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand to left knee. Left hand comes behind. And we're just twisting over our left shoulder for just a couple of breaths here. We'll work our way into tabletop. Transitions are super slow during pregnancy, especially. So as we're right here in tabletop, knees are under our hips, under our sitting bones, hands are under our shoulders, and just sway side to side here a little bit. 1, feels fantastic. 2, you may just start to feel a little bit of a stretch through, the side of your legs, coming down through the glutes, and some of those muscles that we sit on all day, like the hamstrings. We'll get to a little bit later. From here, we'll go into that pelvic tilt again. So as we inhale, rather than just dropping baby down, we're just tilting. You can almost do it with your hands. Tilting the pelvis down. Inhale, tilt the pelvis down this way. Exhale, pelvis comes down. And this is where we're looking for that stretch. Once you feel that stretch through the sacrum, through the lower back, don't push it, just hold it there for 2 breaths. And then come back to just tilting, like you're just rounding the pelvis under rather than coming into a big arch. And then come back into that tilt where you're feeling that stretch. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And then we'll tilt again just to neutralize that. And last time here, just tilting right there. That is the stretch we're looking for. From here, bring your knees to the width of your mat or however far you need to make room for baby. Sitting back on your heels, arms are coming down in front of you. If you need to stay on your elbows because you just need extra room, that's totally fine. We'll come here into a child's pose, and as we are breathing, think about the expansion of your ribs through your back, kind of right where they are all coming to meet together around the spine. We'll do about 3 breaths here. Breathing through that back, breathing through your spine. On your next inhale, come back up to all fours, and we'll come into our quarter dog right here. And if you are 33 weeks or farther along, you will skip down dog. If you're not there yet, you can come into quarter dog, and then we'll push back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out your feet. Your feet are about hip width distance apart. The little V in between your thumb and your forefinger is pointing straight towards the front of your mat. And your head is just hanging heavy, your neck is neutral. Your shoulders are engaged, they're just sort of rotating inward. And then from here, we'll just slide forward into our high plank. Knees come down, and we'll go into 5 chaturanga push-ups. Arms only need to come down to 90 degrees. Breathing the whole time. From here, we'll just push back into our quarter dog. And if you're doing down dog, you'll come up here, and we'll actually just walk our hands back to our feet. Coming here into Tadasana. While it's definitely a restful pose, let's think about engaging just about everything we can. Pelvis, hips are tilted a little bit forward. That entire pelvic floor is being engaged right now. As we breathe, we're cozying up, giving baby a hug. Shoulders are back and down away from the ears. Palms are facing forward, and we'll take a few breaths here. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms together, hands come through heart center, and we bow and fold. Take your feet as wide as needed to make room for your belly. Inhale, look long, flat back. Exhale, fold. As we're here folding, we'll be here for a few breaths. Bend your knees as much as you need so that you're feeling that hamstring stretch in the belly of the hamstring, right in the back of your thighs. So you're not feeling it just through the back of the knees, but really in the upper hamstrings. You can shift your weight back and forth. Head is just hanging. One more breath here. Inhale, look long. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Bring your toes just outside of the mat, and we'll come down here into Malasana. Another great time to grab a block to just add a little support, or lean against a wall, or if you have a chair around, whatever you need to just be able to settle into this pose. So from here, as we take about 10 breaths here, this is a great time to visualize your upcoming birth. It doesn't have to be super literal, including the baby, but think about something opening, a flower blossoming, a lotus, the sun coming up over the horizon, newness. So bring your hands to heart center, close your eyes, and just take a few breaths here to think about and visualize your body creating newness, creating openness, and creating space for that openness. The pelvic floor is being engaged on each exhale, and you're still thinking about giving baby that hug on each exhale. You're feeling this as well through your upper spine as you engage all the muscles surrounding your shoulder blades, your ribs. 2 more breaths here. Hands come down to the mat, knees slowly come down to the mat as well, and we're back here into tabletop. Let's just take a few big circles here in one direction as we just kind of come into the opposite, release for what we were just stretching. And let's just rotate in the other direction here. Big circles. Next time your hips come back, come into quarter dog, and we'll press back into down dog one more time here. And let's just walk our hands back to meet our feet, and we'll come back up into standing into Tadasana. We'll come here into Trikonasana, tree pose. Bring your weight into your left leg, into your left foot, and options here will be, it's not Trikonasana, my apologies. Come into tree pose. Options here will be heel of your right leg onto left ankle, onto left calf, or up into your left inner thigh. Now, you're thinking about the stillness here. You're never completely still, especially while you're pregnant and balance is a little crazy. But think about finding the stillness within constant movement. And what an amazing thought to keep in mind as you begin heading into motherhood. Hands are down at your sides, palms facing forward. Hands are at heart center for more connecting, kind of grounding hand placement, or up overhead. We'll take another 2 breaths here. We'll bring the right foot down to the ground, and we'll shift our weight into the right side. And again, your options right here, maybe right into the inside of the calf, not on the knee. I'll go up to the inner thigh today, and hips are facing forward. Your bent leg is rotated out. Shoulders are back. Core is keeping you stable here. And again, we've got 1,000 tiny movements happening, and we're finding the stillness within all of that. And last breath here. Foot comes down to the mat. We'll inhale, arms up overhead, palms together, hands through heart center. Shift your feet to the outside of your mat to make room for your forward fold. Inhale, look long. Exhale, walk your hands out to the front of your mat. You're in high plank, dropping knees down, and we'll come into another 5 chaturanga push-ups. push back into our quarter dog or our full downward facing dog. And right here we will inhale, left leg high, exhale, placing left foot outside of your hands. We're going to use all of our core muscles here to bring us into Crescent Warrior. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, rotating back foot down. And we're here into Warrior Two. If you want to check in on your alignment, seeing that heels are in the same line. Hands are extended out to the side. Gaze is just gently resting right the end of your middle finger. And you're in some variation of 90. You probably aren't as low as you were before you were this pregnant, but your front leg is engaged and you should feel that turning on here like we haven't done yet in this practice. Inhale, front leg comes straight, arms up overhead. Exhale. Inhale, up into Flying Warrior. Exhale, back down. Inhale. 2 more here. Inhale and exhale, here we are. From here, we'll come up, straighten the front leg, rotate the toes towards the sides of your mat. Hands come to the back of your hips, and we'll slowly come folding forward into flat back. Hands can come down to the ground. This is a great time to grab your block. And from here, if it was within your practice before pregnancy, go ahead and continue to just fold a little bit, feeling possibly the stretch on the outside of your legs, possibly through the back of your hamstrings. On the next inhale, hands come to the back of your hips, and you're slowly bringing yourself up. Front toes rotate towards the front of your mat once more. And we're back here in Warrior Two. Arms extended. Slide back for Revolved Warrior. Back hand slides down the back leg. Front leg stays in that bend. And then exhale, front elbow to front knee. Back hand comes up overhead. Take a final breath here. And rotate hands down to the mat. Stepping your left foot back. You're in high plank here. Knees come down. We're going for 5 more push-ups. And we'll push back into quarter dog, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high, and place that exhale to the outside of your hands. Again, we're using our core, we're using our back muscles to just bring us up right here. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, rotating the back foot down, arms extend. Here we are again in Warrior Two. Check on your alignment one more time. See that your front knee is pointed out almost over your second front toe. What's important is that it's not tilting in and like pointing at some crazy angle on the opposite side of the room. Here we are in our Warrior Two. Front, this time our right leg is super turned on, and we'll come up into Flying Warrior one more time. Last one here. And here we are again. We'll straighten the front leg, rotate the toes towards the side of the mat. Hands come to the back of the hips, slowly coming down into flat back. And then from here, if you need to bring your feet in a little bit, that's fine. Look to just place your hands on the outside of your ankles and take whatever stretch feels good. As soon as you start to feel that stretch, pause and just stay right there. We'll do another 2 breaths here. The next inhale, hands come to the back of your hips, and you're slowly bringing yourself back up. Front toes rotate towards the front of your mat. Knee bends, you're back here in your warrior 2. Inhale, rotate back. Left hand slides down the back of the left leg. Your front knee is still bent, is still engaged. And then bring their front elbow to your front knee. Back hand rotates over your head. Inhale and exhale. Rotate palms down to the mat. Leg steps back, you're in high plank. Knees come down. And we're going for 5 more push-ups. We'll push back here, bringing our knees out to the sides of our mat. Coming back, sitting on our heels. We'll take a quick child's pose here, just a child's pose. Last breath will bring us back up onto all fours. And from here, we'll just sway side to side for a moment before we press back into our downward facing dog one more time. Inhale, right leg high. Open up that hip a bit. And exhale down to the outside of your hands. Back knee comes down. Hands come to the top of your right knee. And we'll look for a little bit of that stretch right here. I'm feeling it on my left sort of hip flexor, the front of my quad. And then inhale, arms up overhead. If you want to cactus your arms out and take a super, super gentle back bend, if that's in your practice, go for it. I'm going to stay right here. Hands come to the front of top of your knee, back toes curl under, and we'll come up here. Woo! Come up here again to crescent lunge. Arms up overhead. Keep that front knee bent. It's engaged. You're feeling your glutes are engaged. Inner thighs are working towards each other. And exhale, hands down. Step back into high plank. Down here to chaturanga. Cobra, upward facing dog. And we'll press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Bend to open that hip. And exhale, foot comes down to the outside of your hands. Back knee comes down, back toes come down. Hands to the top of your front knee. And you're coming up here, looking for that stretch on the other side. Hands up overhead. If you took that little back bend on the first side, go ahead and do it again here. Hands come back to your knee, toes curl under, and tons of core stability here to just bring us up into crescent lunge. Hands up overhead. Feel that leg turn on. It's burning for me. Inner thighs are working, glutes are working. And exhale, hands come down to the outside of your foot. Step back into high plank, down into chaturanga, cobra, upward facing dog, and back into tabletop. From here, come back into a seated position, and we'll go for one final twist here on the floor, just to work the glutes a little bit, a little other muscle that runs through the bum, the piriformis, which can take a ton, can just take such a beating during pregnancy. Hydrate as much as needed. Okay, we'll come here onto our backs and roll gently over to your right side. Your right arm is extended out to the side. Your left arm is on top of that. Your right leg on the bottom is sort of bent or sort of straight. Your left leg is kind of bent just right over it, kind of in 90 degrees. And then we'll go right here. So first you should, maybe you're just sort of gently feeling this. As you kind of rotate to look towards the ceiling, you might start to feel that a little bit more. Right here, we're just gonna take our left hand and extend it till we get to a T position. We'll just do this one. Inhale as our hands come together. Exhaling as they separate apart. A few more times. Working those upper rib area. We'll come back onto our back. Left leg stays bent, and we come into this little figure 4 type stretch here. Using your left elbow to press your left knee away so that you're feeling the stretch through your glute. We'll go over to the other side now. We'll be on our left side. Left leg is straight. Right leg is at 90. Hands come together on the inhale, and on the exhale, we're opening up. And last one here. Come back onto our backs. Go ahead and put something under your head here if it's just too much time on your back. A pillow, block, a bolster. Right leg stays bent. Hands come through that little hole that you've made between where your legs are bent and they meet each other. And then right elbow is pushing right knee just up towards the ceiling. And take a few deep breaths here. Come roll back onto your right side and slowly pushing yourself up to seated. Come back into that comfortable seated position and take another deep breath. Think about any time during the day connecting to your breath, and again finding that stillness in the constant movement there is. Listening to the breath is absolutely the quickest, easiest, most rewarding way to come back to that stillness. Thank you for flowing with me, mamas.